Hello everyone, welcome back. A friend of mine stopped by today and I'm basically trying out some new guns. This is the Glock 20 10 millimeter and it's got the Holosun 509T on it. Okay, so I think this is probably my first time playing around with this optic. I may have shot it before, I don't remember. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little fun with the 10 millimeter. I'm normally, as you know, I'm normally right-handed, right? Well, I'm gonna shoot this left-handed, one-handed, and we're gonna see how I can do one-handed with a 10 millimeter in my left hand. Let me see if I can get any hits here. Not perfect. I need a little bit more practice. Easily manageable. I suspect that even though it's a 10 millimeter, it's probably this ammo. This is SMB Cellular and Belair, right? Cellular and Belair. SMB ammo, 10 millimeter. I suspect it is like at the very low end of 10 millimeter power. It's probably a lot of that 10 millimeter ammo out there is really more like a 40 plus P or something like that, because, you know, like I said, I'm easily shooting this one-handed in my left hand. It almost feels like a 9 millimeter to me, to tell you guys the truth. I think I have shot 40s that kick more. Now, mind you, this is a big gun, right? This is a big, heavy gun. He's got a light, he's got an optic on it, and he's got the light on it, okay? So that's gonna add extra weight to the gun. So the extra weight on the gun is going to pick up that recoil. So that might be part of the reason why this is feeling like a 9 millimeter to me. In fact, I'm curious. I'm going to load up a mag with 9 and a mag with 10. I'm going to shoot them side by side and see if I can feel a difference. Hold on. Let me pause the camera. You got it? All right, guys. We're going to have a little fun. I want to shoot this, the 10 millimeter, right, with this SMB ammo. I'm going to shoot it like back to back with this 9 millimeter, okay? So the 9 millimeter ammo is also like cheap target ammo. And I want to see if I can even tell the difference between these two. Again, I'm shooting this in my left hand, shooting one-handed, so I'm more sensitive to how to recoil this, right? Because if I'm like this, going boom, 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 you know, I'm not going to feel it as much. So I'm going one-handed in my left hand. So I'm going to fire a couple of shots with the 9 millimeter. Yeah, I might need to re-zero that optic. Well, let's try this 10 millimeter. It kicks a little bit more. I think that now this is a much heavier gun than this G19, so I think that's yeah, this is kicking a little bit more, but not a whole lot more. And I think the weight of that gun is picking up a lot of that recoil. As I'm shooting it more, I'm definitely feeling, yeah, I am feeling more recoil in this, but it's like, the recoil is like, it's like a slow pushback, okay? In fact, it seems to me like I can actually feel the slide coming back and going forward, coming back. So I can actually feel that delay, and I think the reason is because the gun is designed for a much more potent 10 millimeter, right? Because not all 10 millimeter are the same. So I think the fact that it's cheaper target 10 millimeter, which is probably closer in power to a 40 cal, that's probably the reason why it's like I'm feeling this come back and then go forward almost while I'm shooting. It's not jamming up the gun. Now, the fact that there's an optic on here, that also might be slowing it down. with the 9mm, just in comparison, this feels a lot more snappy. All right, again, it's a G19, so it's a lighter gun. I can feel a boom, boom. So, like, as far as like the pressure coming up my arm, now that I've shot it a whole bunch, yeah, there's less pressure coming up my arm, but in my hand, right, that initial pop, pop, pop into my hand, the 9mm is actually kicking more. But again, I think that's just because it's a lighter gun versus the 10mm. So very, very interesting. Very interesting.